Alright, so we've had the first match day of the new Champions League format, this new league format that's been, in my opinion, I thought it was going to be something very good, and I think so far it's been very entertaining, I'll be honest. Whether it would have been as entertaining as a group stage, debatable, but we wouldn't have got some of the same fixtures as what we got so far. So yeah, match day 1, let's review it. 5 matches, 5 results, 5 things that we learned from the UEFA Champions League 24-25 league phase match day 1. So let's get into one of the first games that was on this weekend, and that was Young Boys against Villa. Now, like I already covered in the preview, this is Villa's first ever Champions League game since rebranded to the Champions League back in the early 90s. Young Boys are no strangers to the Champions League, but they've been having an awful season so far in Switzerland, currently sitting bottom of the Swiss Super League. So it's no surprise that Villa managed to win this one, and I think I actually got the score prediction right with a 3-0 victory for the away side. Villa took a little bit of time getting used to the plastic pitch over in Switzerland, but once they did, they were absolutely unstoppable. Yuri Tielemans, Jacob Ramsey, and then Amadou Onana putting them 3-0 up and taking those 3 points back to England on their Champions League debut. Not bad at all. Young Boys concerning for them so early on in the tournament. Villa aren't a bad side, of course, by any stretch, but they're very inexperienced in the Champions League. So I think that is a very concerning one for them, and I would expect them to struggle to make it out of this league phase. But next up, let's talk about one of the matches that was on later that day. Bayern Munich against Dinamo Zagreb. Now, of course, Bayern Munich were coming into this one as the heavy favourites, and the eventual scoreline definitely reflected that fact. It was a 9-2 victory. 9-2 victory for Bayern Munich in the Champions League, which I believe has broken their own record when they beat Barcelona, what was it, 8-2 in the quarterfinals in the pandemic times. Unbelievable scenes in Munich with that one. But I tell you what, they did not have it all their own way in this one. This was not as straightforward as you would think it would be. Now, early on, it seemed as though it was going to be that. Harry Kane getting a penalty after 20 minutes, Rafael Guerreiro as well with a goal, and Elise getting his first Bayern Munich goal, I believe, or at least definitely first in the Champions League anyway, to put the Bavarian side 3-0 up. But Dinamo Zagreb looked like coming back into this one. 2 goals in 2 minutes after the half-time mark. But that made Bayern take it personally. They took that really personally, because then they eventually romped. So a 9-2 victory, 70% possession, 19 shots on target. There were a few disallowed goals and retaken penalties. It was all kinds of craziness happening in this one. But in the end, Harry Kane got 4 goals to his name. Guerrero with 1, Elise with 2, Sane with 1, and Goretzka with the 9th goal in the 92nd minute for Bayern Munich. Unbelievable. Some people saying that, this is because this new format, it's unfair and all this. I disagree. We see scorelines like this in the group stage anyway. It's not changed now that it's in the league phase. Let's go off to Scotland next. Now, Celtic obviously dominate their league in general over in Scotland, but they found it very difficult in the Champions League in recent seasons. But this game was a golden opportunity for them to do very well, and so it proved indeed. They were playing Slovan Bratislava on their UEFA Champions League debut, and as well, they are the lowest ranked side in the competition. If they weren't before, they probably are going to be now, because they ended up losing 5-1 to this one. To Celtic did, Slovan Bratislava, and Celtic are really good value for it. They were really, really good. They were good in possession. They were clinical. Yeah, Bratislava had some chances, Wimmer with that single goal, and they had a chance when it was 0-0 early on too, but Celtic romp into their biggest ever Champions League winner, at least the win with the most amount of goals, and it gives them a chance. This gives them a chance of qualifying for the knockout stages via the playoffs. Long way to go, very long way to go, of course, but very encouraging from Brendan Rodgers' men. Next up, another game on Tuesday. I mean, most of these really good games were on Tuesday. AC Milan against Liverpool. A replay of the 2005 and 2007 Champions League final at the San Siro. And it looked as though Milan were actually going to come out of this with something. Pulisic ended up getting the goal after just 3 minutes for the Milanese side. But Liverpool eventually grew into the game. And in truth, I mean, even though the possession battle was relatively even, the chances were absolutely anything. But Milan with 8 shots, 2 on target. Liverpool 23 shots, 11 on target. Konate, Van Dijk and Szoboszlai with the goals for the Reds. A really, really strong result for Arne Slot's men, especially after losing so disappointingly at home against Nottingham Forest last weekend as well. So very impressive for them. The final match I'm going to highlight is one from Thursday night. I mean, a side that I have a bit of an affinity with because I love the city and I love everything about the club, really, I love the culture and everything. Monaco against Barcelona. Barcelona absolutely just tanking in this one. This is so embarrassing. Eric Garcia getting sent off after 10 minutes. Barcelona had to play the rest of the game with 10 men for 80 minutes, plus they added on time. Akiluche, he scored the first goal for Monaco after 16 minutes. Yamal actually equalised just before the half an hour mark, just giving Barcelona some sort of hope of a comeback. But then I'm going to call him George. I'm just going to go George. That's what easy for me to say. Ended up getting the goal that won the game for Monaco. Monaco, in truth, dominated this one. Barcelona scored with their only shot on target in the match. A really, really disappointing start to the Champions League this season from the Catalan side, a side that has struggled in the Champions League recently and struggled in general, really, for being honest. But yeah, that is a really, really bad result for Barcelona. Absolutely huge for Monaco, though. Absolutely huge for Monaco. They will be hoping to get into the playoffs for the group for the knockout stage. And if they get some more wins like that, why not? But those are the 5 matches that I was paying attention to the most this weekend. The landmark things we learned, basically. Barcelona not very good. Celtic not too bad at all. Bayern Munich unbelievable. Villa with a very good start, and at Liverpool with a very impressive comeback away win at San Siro. So yeah, which games were you looking out for, guys? Which were your standout results of the weekend? Was it David Raya's double save from Atalanta last night for Arsenal? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, keep you subscribed to thefootballchronicle.com to see much more football content just like this.